Welcome back, students. So in the last class we have done with the topic of functions. So in that study we studied different types of functions, and along with we studied what's called as inverse of a function. If there is any problem in understanding the last few problems, yes, you please let me know. I will revise those problems. Okay. Now today let me start with a new topic: binary operations. We have something called as binary operations. So what is binary operation is all about? It's quite simple. Actually binary stands for two operation. There are standardly many operations we have: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the standard operations we know, right? Okay, so two elements I should consider, and I should apply any of these operations on the given set. So to understand the meaning of binary operation, so let me take an example. Consider set of all natural numbers given by n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. On this I am going to consider an operation. Let me take it as addition. So let me select two natural numbers, 1, 2 belongs to n, and I will apply this operation. What is 1 plus 2 will be? 1 plus 2 will be 3. Is 3 a natural number? Of course it's a natural number. Now let's consider 3, 5 belongs to n. Any two natural number you can consider, right? So it's going to be what? 3 plus 5 will be equal to 8. Once again a natural number, right? So let me take some 100 and 200 belongs to n. So what is 100 plus 200? That will be equal to 300. Once again a natural number. So what happens is, whenever you apply addition between any two natural numbers, the resultant element is always a natural number. I hope everyone will agree. Okay, so standardly what I will write is, for all a comma b belongs to n, that means a and b are any two natural numbers, fine. And whenever I do a plus b, the resultant elements also belongs to n. In such case addition will be called as a binary operation on n. Binary means any two, right? So any two natural numbers, whenever added, the resultant element is also going to be a natural number. So in such case addition will be called as a binary operation on natural numbers. It's not just 1 plus 2. If you are doing 2 plus 1 also, the resultant element is going to be natural number, right? Okay. Now similarly on the same set, let me consider an operation. I am going to consider subtraction or difference of two natural numbers, right? So 1 and 2 are natural numbers. What is 1 minus 2 will be? 1 minus 2 will be minus 1. Minus 1 is not a natural number. Now don't tell me, sir, if I do it 2 minus 1, the resultant element is going to be a natural number. That is fine. You do it a plus b or b plus a. You do it 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1, the resultant element is a natural number. In subtraction also, you do it 1 minus 2 or 2 minus 1, still the resultant element should be a natural number. So as you notice, the resultant element every time is not going to be a natural number. Sometimes I agree. For example, if I consider this one, yes, fine. So if I consider 3 and 2, sir, 3 minus 2 is a natural number. Yeah, that's fine. But what about 2 minus 3? 2 minus 3 is not a natural number, right? So in such case what we say is, for all, it's not for all. Whenever I take a comma b belongs to natural number, and when I do a minus b is not going to be a natural number. Now what we say is, difference or subtraction what we taken here is not a binary operation on natural number. That means difference or subtraction of two natural number need not be a natural number every time. Okay, don't tell me, sir, 2 minus 1 whole square. No, let's consider it, right? Now in addition, if you remember, 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1, still the number is going to be a natural number. Now here also we should get the same. Let it be 1 minus 2 or 2 minus 1, the resultant element still should be a natural number. So we are not getting here, it will not be called as a natural number, right? Okay. On the same set, I'm going to change the operation this time. So between any two natural number, I will apply something called as multiplication. So 1 and 2 are natural number. What is 1 multiplied by 2 will be? 2 is also a natural number. 2 and 3 are natural number. 2 multiplied by 3 is also going to be natural number. Or in general, if I keep doing this operation for any two natural number, in general, for any two natural number, a multiplied by b is also going to be a natural number. Hence, multiplication is a binary operation on natural number. Any two natural numbers, whenever we multiply, the resultant element is also going to be a natural number, right? Okay. Now here also you can just notice, sir, why you didn't do the other way? Yes, no problem at all. What is 2 multiplied by 1 will be? 2 multiplied by 1, still a natural number. What is 3 multiplied by 2 will be? 6, still a natural number, correct, right? So it doesn't matter. Fine. Okay, now on the same set, I want to check one more. Let me consider division as an operation, right? Okay, now 1, 2 belongs to n. That means 1 and 2 are natural numbers. But what is 1 by 2? 1 by 2 is not a natural number, but sometimes it holds good. So what if I do 4 by 2? Yes, no problem. But if it has to be a binary operation, it should be true every time. Either you do 1 by 2 or 2 by 1, the resultant element should be a natural number. Yeah, of course I am going to get it here. That is not an issue. But if I do the other way also, I should get the same. Right? Okay. So we have checked 4 operations on natural numbers. On 4 operations, out of 4 operations, addition and multiplication are called as binary operation, whereas subtraction and division are not binary operations on the set of all natural numbers n. So let me give you a conclusion. Let me consider A is a non-empty set. Now consider any two elements from this set. Any two elements from this set. And take one operation star. Star is any operation in the beginning. Okay? Star is any operation. Still I have not called it as a binary operation. Remember, one non-empty set, okay, and one operation on the non-empty set. Fine, okay. Now, if the star has to become a binary operation, then between any two elements of the given set, you apply the definition A star B. And the resultant element should belong to the same set. In such case, star will be called as a binary operation on the set A. Okay, so binary operation definition, simple thing. Let A be a non-empty set, star is any operation. Between any two elements of the given set, whenever star is applied, the resultant element should exist in the given set. Now in such case, star will be called as a binary operation. So remember, sometimes they will ask you this definition for 1 mark in the final examination. Okay students, I hope you got the definition of binary operation. Okay, so a simple definition, so please remember. Fine, okay. Now let's move on to the what we call types of binary operations, or we say laws of binary operation. There are different ways of telling. Okay, fine. Now under that, the first one is commutative law or commutative property. Okay, so what is the meaning of commutative? Quite simple. So for any two elements belongs to the given set, if you do A star B, that should be equal to B star A. Then the operation star satisfies commutative property. Simple definition for commutative. So you take any two elements belongs to the given set and apply star. Whenever you do A star B or B star A, the resultant element should be same. In such case, star will be called as commutative, or star satisfies commutative property. Okay, I will explain all this actually, then later on I will come to the examples. So please first let us go through all the types or laws of binary operation. The second one is called as associative law. So below each property there are some illustrative examples, you can go through that. Okay, I will mainly concentrate on NCERT. Fine. Okay, now associative property. To explain associative, you should consider any three elements from the given set, and between them apply star. A star B star C equal to A star B star C, right, like this. If you are associating A star B in the left side, then associate B star C in the right side. Or if you are associating B star C in the left side, then associate A star B on the right side. In any way, it should be same. Okay, fine. That is the second one, associative law. Now, let's move on to the next one called as identity law. So what is identity law? For every element from the given set, there exists an element E from the same set. Okay, for every element belongs to the given set, there exists one particular element E belongs to the given set, such that you operate A star E. You should get back A, and you should get back the same when you are operating E star A. If you are able to get this thing actually, then one will be called as identity element. I will explain you with an example. So let us consider natural numbers. Okay, and on this I am going to take the binary operation multiplication. So let's consider 1 multiplied by 1, 1. Okay, 1 multiplied by 2, 2. Okay, 1 multiplied by 3, 3. 1 multiplied by 4, 4. Remember, the same thing holds good. If you are doing 1 star 1 multiplied by 1, it's going to be the same. But what if I do 2 multiplied by 1? Still it's going to be 2. And what if I multiply 3 multiplied by 1? Still it's the same. Or if I do it 4 multiplied by 1, still it's going to be 4 only. Look at that. This particular element. Okay, whenever you multiply it with any natural number, you will get back the same natural number. In such case, this will be called as identity element of natural numbers under multiplication. Okay, so if in a given set, if it is possible, every time you cannot say it exists. Okay, so if possible, okay, this is how the explanation will go on. So whenever you multiply one particular element to any natural number, you will get back the same natural number. Then this one will be called as identity element under multiplication. But whereas if I go with, see, on natural numbers, I already know that addition is a binary operation, correct, right? But 1 added with something should give me 1. 2 added with something should give me 2. 3 added with something should give me 3. This is possible if I fill up this place by -1, -2, -3. But look here, what's happening? First of all, these are not at all natural numbers, right? So what we say is, identity does not exist under addition on set of all natural numbers. Okay, so when I take addition, see, this is what I should be able to get, means this I should fill up. Okay, sorry, not this, sorry for this. This has to be 0, right? This has to be 0, but 0 is not a natural number, correct? So because of that, the identity element does not exist under addition for natural numbers. I hope the property is clear. Okay, now the fourth one, we call it as inverse law. Inverse law is defined for each element separately. So you should not say for every element belongs to A. No. For an element A belongs to A, if there exists an element B belongs to A, and when I operate these two, A star B, the resultant element should be identity, and this should be equal to B star A. Got it? Fine. Okay. Now let us see, for natural numbers under multiplication, the identity element is 0. So what I will take is 1 multiplied by something should give me 0. This is possible if this is 0, but 0 is not a natural number. And for example, 2 multiplied by something should give me 0. And this has to be what? See, under the okay, sorry for this. Okay, now 1 multiplied by something should gives me 1, so this will be 1 and this should be 1 by 2, right? And what about 3 multiplied by something? See, why I am concentrating here, look at the element. When I do A star B, the resultant element should be E. So 1 multiplied by 1 will be 1, that's fine. But 2 multiplied by 1 by 2 will gives me 1, but 1 by 2 is not a natural number. And 3 multiplied by 1 by 3 should gives me 1, and 3 is not a natural number. So what I say is, inverse of 2 does not exist, inverse of 3 does not exist, inverse of 4 does not exist, and so on. Okay, so this is to make you understand the properties. We have problems, enough number of problems based on this in the NCERT, and apart from NCERT you have some illustrative examples also, so please refer. Okay, so these are the main 4 laws of binary operation on which we will study most of the problems. Fine students, now we have studied the 4 laws of binary operation or types of binary operation. So I will quickly just revise you. The first one is called as commutative. So for every element A comma B belongs to A star B should be equal to B star A. That's commutative property. The next one we call it as associative. So for all A comma B comma C belongs to A star B star C should be equal to A star B star C. I told you can associate in any form. And the next one is called as identity. So for every element A belongs to the set, there exists an element E belongs to the set, such that whenever I do A star E, the resultant element should be A. This should be same when I do it E star A also. Then fourth one we call it as inverse property. Then for an element A belongs to A, there exists an element B belongs to A, such that whenever I operate A star B, the resultant element should be E, and this should be equal to B star A. So these are the 4 laws of or types of binary operation on which we will solve the problems. Okay, illustrative problems you can manage, it's not an issue. Okay, and now let's move on to NCERT problems. Students, in NCERT problems I will concentrate on exercise problems first, then I will come back to the worked examples. Okay, it's easy to make you understand the concept when I start with NCERT exercise. Okay, then of course you will manage the worked examples quite easily. That's not at all an issue. Okay, so let me concentrate on exercise problems from the NCERT. That's your exercise 1.4. Clear? So it's in page number 30. So under that first main there are 5 problems. Okay, what we have to verify in all the 5. So what they will give is, determine whether each time an operation star will be defined, a set will be given to you. Okay, on this you have to check whether it's going to be a binary operation, then check for commutative, then check for associate. So I should verify for all the 5 problems 3 things: binary operation, whether it's commutative or whether it's associative. So to do this, let me take the first problem on this. On Z plus A star B equal to A minus B. So on set of all, Z plus stands for positive integers. On set of all positive integers, A star B equal to A minus B, check whether it's going to be a binary operation, commutative and associative. So let me check for binary operation. Let me take 2 positive integers. 1 and 2 are positive integers. If I apply this definition, 1 star 2 equal to 1 minus 2 equal to minus 1, this does not belongs to Z plus. Correct? Therefore, star is not a binary operation on Z plus. First verification is over. Now let us check for commutative. So I should check for commutative. If you want, you can create example. Okay, that's not an issue, or generally also you can consider. So again I will go with example. 1, 2 belongs to Z plus. So see, commutative means I should check whether 1 star 2 equal to 2 star 1. Correct, right? I should check this. Now, what is 1 star 2 according to the definition? 1 minus 2. What is 2 star 1? 2 minus 1. 1 minus 2 is minus 1, and here it's going to be 1. They are not equal, right? Therefore, star is not commutative. Okay, So generally we say that A minus B is not equal to B minus A. That's enough to say. Otherwise, create an example and check the property. Is that clear? Right. Now, to check for associative for the same example. So, associative, let's write the property first. For all A, B, C belongs to Z plus. Suppose if it's associative, then A star, B star, C should be equal to A star, B star, C. This should be true. I will explain two methods for this. One is general method, one is with examples. Okay, fine. So let me consider 1 star 2 star 3 equal to 1 star 2 star 3. See, associative means first you apply the given definition for the elements which are inside the bracket. So 2 star 3 according to the given definition 2 minus 3, and here it is 1 minus 2 star 3. Right, okay. So 1 star 2 minus 3 is minus 1, and here it is minus 1 star 3. Fine, okay. So 1 star minus 1 according to the definition A star B is written as A minus B. 1 minus of minus 1 equal to minus 1 minus 3. Here you will get it 2 and here you will get it as minus 4. They are not equal. This I explained with an example. These are simple ones, you can manage with the examples also, not an issue. But let me check in general. How to check in general? Don't give any elements here. A star, B star C. B star C will become B minus C, and A star B will become A minus B star C. To make things simpler, in associative I will give names and continue. It's easy for me. So A star X equal to Y star C. Now this is in the form A star B. A star B, wherever you get A star B in this column, A star B every time should be written as A minus B. So A star X is A minus X, Y star C should be Y minus C. Substitute for X and Y. So what is the value of X? X value was B minus C and Y value was A minus B, and this minus C is still there. So A minus B plus C equal to A minus B minus C. Can they be equal? Different element. They are not at all equal. So first you write the property, keep simplifying. At the end of the problem, if you are able to get both sides to be the same, then you can say that it's going to be associative. If not, it's not going to be associative. So give a conclusion. Therefore, star is not associative. So that's how it should be done, students. First check for binary operation, okay, then check for commutative, then check for associative. But I suggest you to practice this general method, which is actually going to be easy. See, for some time what happens is, the given definition may holds good for some elements, may not holds good for some other element. So sometimes what happens, you will take 3 elements, you will verify it holds good, right? But it should be true every time, right? So better, I suggest you go with the general method, which is actually going to be easy. So practice the general method, okay, and learn the concept. Fine, students. Now let's move on to the second column. Now, in this second column is A comma B. In the second column, on Z plus only, A star B equal to AB. So on Z plus positive integers, see, whenever you operate two positive integers, the resultant element will be product of two positive integers, and we know it's going to be positive integer. Now let me start with binary operation verification first. Okay, now how to do it? See, 1 is a positive integer, 2 is a positive integer, 1 star 2 equal to 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, it's going to be positive. So how to just see, forever only 2 elements you checked it. There are infinite number of elements. So write in general, actually that is quite easy. Therefore, one example is enough to understand the concept, right? Then proceed and write the general. Therefore, for all A comma B belongs to Z plus, A star B equal to AB is also a Z plus. Product of two positive integer is always going to be positive integer. That is the meaning. Okay. So therefore, star is a binary operation. Please don't write the short form. So try to write the full form, binary operation. I am writing the short form here. So now let us check for commutative. What does commutative property says? A star B belongs to Z plus. If you are able to prove A star B equal to B star A, then it's going to be commutative. Correct now? So what is A star B? It is AB. What is B star A will be BA. You multiply 1 multiplied by 2, still 2. 2 multiplied 1, still also going to be 2 only, right? So clearly AB will be equal to BA. Therefore, star is commutative. It doesn't matter here, right? It's a product of two positive integer. Anyway, it's going to be positive integer only. Now let's move on to associative now. So for associative, for all A comma B comma C belongs to Z plus. See, in each property there is a way of starting. How many elements you can start? That's important, right? Now, suppose if it's associative, every time I will start the property and I will assume it is true. Then I will find both the sides. Then we will check. Okay. Then therefore A star B star C equal to A star B star C. Right. Apply the property or to apply the given definition for A star B. What is A star B is given as AB multiplied by C. A star B star C will be written as BC. So it's easy if I name it and continue. It is X star C equal to A star Y. What is X star C according to the given definition? XC, and this will be AY. Substitute for X and Y. What is X was AB, right? Multiplied by C, A multiplied by BC. Correct? What is that your element you are commonly getting on both sides? ABC equal to ABC. Of course, it will be true. Take 3 positive integer and check with an example. Then also it's going to be true. But I suggest you practice this general way of writing. Clear, students? So that is second problem. You have done it. Now let's move on to the next problem number 3. So under this problem number 3, on R, that is on real numbers, star is defined as A star B equal to AB square. What is A real number? Okay, see here when you are writing this, remember A comma B belongs to R. See, A is a real number, B is a real number. If B is a real number, B square is also a real number. Therefore, whenever I consider A comma B belongs to R, A star B equal to AB square is also going to be a real number. Right? Sir, one example. Sure. 3 and minus 2. Let me take this now. Belongs to R, right? 3 star minus 2 equal to 3 into minus 2 the whole square. That's 4. 4 multiplied by 3. And what is 12? It's a real number. Right? So, an example to understand, but writing should be in general. Fine. So, binary operation verification is done. Now, let us check for commutative. So, to check for commutative, what will we consider? For every element A comma B belongs to R, A star B equal to B star A. Is this true? Should I check? Okay. Now, what is A star B? AB square. What is B star A? BA square. Can they be equal? Certainly not. I can check for 1 star 2 not equal to 2 star. Let me check this. So 1 star 2 according to the definition, 1 multiplied by 2 square. This will be 2 multiplied by 1 square. Correct. How much is this? 4. How much this will be? 2. 4 is not equal to 2. Therefore, star is not going to be commutative. So let us check for associative. So the associative property says for all A comma B comma C belongs to R, A star B star C equal to A star B star C. You put the bracket later on. First you write down A star B star C on both sides. So if you are associating A star B in the left side, associate B star C on the right side. So A star B according to the given definition will be AB square star C equal to A star B star C will be B C square. Right? Okay. AB square, let me take it as X and let me take this as Y. X star C equal to A star Y. This naming culture will avoid mistakes. That's it. Okay. Right. Now X star C. How is X star C will be written as X C square. How is A star Y will be now A Y square. Substitute for X and Y. X is what? A B square multiplied by C square. A multiplied by C square. C Y square. Y itself is BC square, but you have Y square, BC square, the whole square. What happens to this here? A B square, C square. Here A b square c power 4. Right? Are they equal? Certainly not. ab square is fine on both sides, but here it's c square, here it is c power 4. Certainly they are not equal. Therefore, star is not going to be associated. So it is only a binary operation, but binary operation does not mean it's going to be a commutative, it's going to be associative. Okay, so I suggest you to go with the general method of writing. Please practice and learn this. Clear?